amongst all the places that were part of the world domination from the British, they also dominated a small kingdom in West Africa called Benin from 1897 to the 1960s. By the end of the British rule, the independent kingdom had become a part of what we now know as the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The justification for the domination was simple, like many other places they dominated. The people were barbarians needing to be enlightened. Much like this.
Hey bro, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? You good?
Hey, what are you making, bro? This looks pretty cool.
Oh, you think so? Yeah. Been working on this for a bit now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, is there more of this around this place, or is it just this one?
Yeah. We got more like around the palace and stuff. It's all of our culture and stuff. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to run that.
What?
Yeah, run that shit, bro.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, mine now. Yeah, it's mine now.
The bronzes were some of around 900 artifacts from the Kingdom of Benin stolen after the massacre of a war in 1897. They range from different plaques taken from palaces as well as different bronze figures. Many of these figures dated back from the 16th and 17th century. They stood as an artifact of culture and heritage, and today they stand as an effigy of injustice and oppression. In 2017, the Benin Dialogue Group was formed in order to restore the artifacts to their appropriate place in that Nigeria has deemed as the Benin Royal Museum. Two senators have been in talks with the British Museum as well as many different museums around the globe for the return of these artifacts. The Royal Majesty themselves also has talked with the British Museum Director upon returning the artifacts. The project to build the museum is set to start around 2021 with the excavation in Benin City, and that will go on for the next 5 years or so after they start the project. After a century-long journey, the artifacts will finally return to their home eventually.
The Rosetta Stone is an artifact made of granitoid by the ancient Egyptians. The stone, which is covered in hieroglyphics, ancient Egyptian Demotic, and ancient Greek, is a decree written in 196 BC by clergy members and rulers. It was first put in display in a temple, then centuries later it was moved to Rosetta to be used as part of the construction of Fort Julian. Fort Julian was then occupied by the French under the ruling of Napoleon, which then led them to discover the stone in July 1799 by a French soldier. When the British defeated Napoleon in 1801, they took possession of the stone. After that, it has been in the British Museum since 1802. The Egyptians have called on the British to return the stone, but to no avail. However, after their multiple requests, even the Egyptians do not expect the British to return the stone.
One of the three most valuable stone artifacts in the British Museum are the Parthenon Marbles. They were a collection of Greek sculptures made between 447 to 438 before Common Era. These sculptures are also known as the Elgin Marbles. They were named that after Thomas Bruce, the 7th Earl of Elgin, who was the one that removed about half of the marbles in 1801 and sent them to England shortly after. Then, in 1816, the sculptures were sold to the British Museum for £35,000, where they have been residing ever since. For years, Greek officials have been demanding for the sculptures to return to Greece. In 2014, the Greek government had requested UNESCO to act as a mediator in resolving this matter. However, both the British Museum and the government had refused this proposition on the grounds that UNESCO works with governments, not museums. Till this day, the ongoing battle between Greece and Britain over the sculptures has been undisputed, and with no promise over whether or not the sculptures will be returned in the future.
However, the next artifact is not on display in the British Museum, and still it is one of the most controversial artifacts which the British stole. Koh-i-Noor is the world's most expensive diamond, currently in Queen Elizabeth's II crown. Koh-i-Noor means mountain of light, which was supposedly found in the 13th century. The diamond ownership has changed many times, and this diamond was also part of the famous Mughal peacock throne. In 1851, the diamond was shipped to Britain, and until today, it has been part of the Queen's crown. Many governments have claimed the ownership of Koh-i-Noor and demanded its returns ever since 1947. However, the British government says that the gem was legally obtained under the terms of the last Treaty of Lahore.
As of today, none of the bronzes have been returned. But this is just one story. This legacy is bigger than the Benin Bronzes. There are hundreds of contested items in the British Museum, with their own rich histories and with original owners trying to retrieve them. But the problem is even bigger than the British Museum. It's a legacy of centuries of colonial power that repeats itself again and again, with different artifacts in different museums, because these requests aren't just about items. They are also about cultural and historical identity and who gets to own it.